Good morning, I'm Michael Moore and welcome to Teaching Tuesdays. With More for Life, we are known for teaching people all the time how to do things for themselves. So what we decided to do, and one of the biggest things I think that is a misrepresentation all the time with my clients are coming in for makeup lessons and refreshers, is basically how to pick the right blush for you and how to apply the right blush for you. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine this morning and she was talking about the 80s, and she's an Irish girl with red hair and really light skin, and of course she was wearing the Oxblood blush in the 80s that was into a V type of application. And so the way that I like to think about it now is trends come and go, classic is always around. So what I always talk to my clients about is about wearing the little black dress for your face. And the little black dress is actually going to go anywhere you want it to go with you. So if we know the right way to do something, then we just transcend and change things at that point in time. So we're going to be having a model come up in just one second. But what we're going to be talking about today is about the right color tones for you, your skin type, your skin tone, and your skin texture. If with a drier skin type, a lot of times people want something that's a little bit more moist and a little bit more hydrated. So something like our cream blushes, these are amazing for you because they can also be used on your cheeks as well as your lips, which is a wonderful thing. And then something we've talked about a little bit already is we've talked about the gel blushes. These are more translucent, they're easy, they're manipulative, great summer application for it, or somebody who just wants like a whisper of color on the apples of their cheek. And then more of the traditional or more of the blush, the powder blushes. And so you're seeing these here in a lot of different color tones. So we're going to be talking about that. When somebody is more of a blonde hair, blue-eyed kind of light-skinned person, you want to think of things that are more. Sorry, we just had a phone call. So you want to see something that's a little bit more warmer, like corals and pinks for somebody like that. Somebody who's a little bit more medium tone, like my assistant that you guys always see, Sierra, she's great with like more auburn tones on her cheek, something that looks like it's coming out of you. And then the model that we're going to be doing in 1 second, she's actually African American, so we're going to see how to really apply blush on somebody of a darker skin tone as well. So what you want to think about is with the darker skin tones, even if you're Latin or black or Eastern European, something like that, you might want to think about colors that are more cranberry tones, something that has a touch more blue in it, but yet be careful with the color tone that it doesn't actually just set on the surface because that's never pretty. So we're going to bring our model in, Miss Patrice. Come on, Miss Patrice. She's my beautiful model. We always get we get so much feedback about our models all the time, and people always say, Sierra's too young. Well, guess what? She's what we have here. So Patrice, she always just walks on by, so always throw her in the chair and we do something fun with her, okay? So when you look up somebody like Patrice, your skin type is pretty normal, right? With a touch to the dry side?
Yes.
Okay, good. So when we're thinking about that, she could actually use something translucent like the gel blush, or she could use the cream blush very easily. But I know her comfort level in makeup is not very high, even though she stops in almost every day. She just doesn't, she doesn't absorb all the makeup tips that we teach her all the time, right?
That is correct.
Sorry to call that one out on you, okay? So what we're going to think about is when you are using something more translucent, like a gel blush, and we're going to actually use the cranberry gel here on her today. And we're going to just take a little bit of this with your finger, like so, okay? And give me a big smile. What you want to do is make sure you apply this right on the apples of the cheek. And you're going to be applying this and just using your hand as your manipulator. Notice no brushes have to come into this one. So this is a great one you can actually just throw in your handbag and work with in a very, very simple way. But now you can actually see, like, this would look like what Patrice would look like if she's been exercising for 5 or 10 minutes. I did it a little bit darker than what she would normally do just for the camera right now. But then you just take a little bit of a sponge and you're going to bring it down a little bit more. Now the same way, when you're looking at cream blushes can be the same way. You want to look at colors that are going to warm the skin. So like even with Patrice, we're going to actually go to a color here called Barely There, and you can actually see this color is more of a brown, more of an auburn kind of tone. So what you're going to think about is we're just going to apply this right on top so you can see the application. Big smile for me. You're going to take this and you're just going to apply it right onto the cheek and warm that up, and just remember using your hands as your manipulator for this. And a lot of times I actually use my middle finger with this because you get a lot more control and a lot more coverage with this so simple and easily. Now you can actually see how that looks like it's just coming right out of Patrice's face, which is actually a really nice thing because I don't like those simply hooker kind of looks. You want something that actually looks like it's really being worn by the client and by the person when you're wearing it out the door. So when we're looking at Patrice for more of a blush color in a powder form, which you're very comfortable with, right? Okay, good. So what I've got here, we've got like a Sunkissed, which is actually wonderful coral that has a little bit more brown in it. Then we've got a color here called Adobe, which is more of a terracotta kind of form. Then we've got Fresh Rose, which is more of a cranberry style. And then we've got a coral here called Fresh Peach, which is wonderful, and all colors would actually work on somebody with her skin tones. But the thing that I don't like people to do is I really don't like people to stay in little categories all the time. So think about playing with your skin tone, and when you're doing this, you want to make sure that your lips and your cheeks harmonize. They don't have to match 100%, but they do have to harmonize. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually be taking the Sunkissed on Patrice today. Take it, and you always want to make sure you fill your brush, and then always tap off your excess, because the excess, when it taps off, is it's not going to sit there and look like boom, like some little old lady sitting in the front pew of the church, right? So big smile, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this on the apple of the cheek underneath the pupil of the eye. You're going to be bringing it right back towards the nub or the trachea, and what you're going to do is you're going to be doing a downward motion with this. So big smile, downward motion, and all of a sudden Patrice just looks like she just had her morning workout or something else. We don't know what that might be. And so we're just taking her and we're just giving her a little bit of a walking look and something that's fresh. But blush can instantly turn a person's face around. If you're not feeling really good, COVID hit you or you're bored of being in home all the time, just put a little extra blush on it. It makes you feel a little bit more happy, makes you feel a little bit more fresh. Right? So think about 3 different forms of blush. You have your powder, which is the more traditional, cream, which is basically great for somebody who is more normal to dry skin. And then we got our translucent gel blushes that actually go for almost any skin type because they are gel. And so these are great for somebody with an oily skin type that doesn't want a lot of blush. It's great for somebody who wants just a very light hint of color, or somebody who needs that little extra moisture in the surface of your skin. So if there's any questions, don't hesitate to write Michael@moreforlife.com or call us at 303-484-1857 and come in and see us because our brow special is still going on for the month of July, okay? Thank you, Patrice. I appreciate it, and thank you.